There are two kinds of DJs in this world. The first one plays music for you. They cater to your tastes, making you dance, forget your worries, and chase applause. They seek fame and money, climbing the ladder of popularity. After all, it is a business. The second kind doesn't play for you, they play at you. They broadcast their pain, joy, chaos, and scars directly into your soul. They don't care about pleasing you. They demand you feel what they feel. This is art. Yousuke Yukimatsu started as the first, but life forced him to become the second. It all started in Osaka, Japan, 1979. Yukimatsu's childhood soundtrack wasn't techno. It was classic rock. His father was obsessed by this genre, and that obsession became the house religion. While other kids played video games, Yukimatsu endured what he called a very good education. Hours of Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, and Black Sabbath bleeding through every room. He didn't appreciate it then. He couldn't know that John Lord's classical-influenced keyboard work was programming his brain to understand how opposing forces could create harmony, how complex music could merge conflicting worlds into something powerful. In middle school, he gravitated toward hard rock and metal. High school brought Sonic Youth and The Prodigy. Each phase wasn't random. It was evolution. From classic rock's power to alternative's experimentation to electronic music's limitless possibilities, he was unknowingly building an arsenal of music DNA that would later make him untouchable. But first, he had to learn what it meant to be ordinary. For years, Yukimatsu lived split between two worlds. Monday through Friday, construction work. Weekends, DJ sets at small parties in Osaka and neighboring Kobe. It was safe, predictable. He played what people wanted to hear, read the room, chased applause. He was good at it. Good enough to build a local reputation. Good enough to make some money. Good enough to stay comfortable. This is where most DJs remain forever. Competent, professional, forgettable. What I find fascinating is how many artists get trapped in this comfort zone, playing it safe because it pays the bills. Yukimatsu might have stayed there too, if not for a single night in 2014 that changed everything. At an event called the Namunohana Special, Yukimatsu shared the stage with techno legend DJ Nobu and experimental artist NHK Kyozen. Something different happened that night. Instead of playing safe, something primal took over. He pushed boundaries, he took risks, he stopped performing and started confessing. DJ Nobu watched in amazement. This wasn't just another local DJ playing tracks. This was someone channeling something deeper. Nobu immediately invited him to perform at Future Terror in Tokyo, one of Japan's most prestigious underground parties. For a moment, it seemed like Yukimatsu's breakthrough had arrived. Local recognition was turning into national attention. The construction worker was becoming a name in Japanese electronic music. Then, life dealt him a card that changed the game forever. 2016. Yukimatsu, 37 years old, sits in a sterile medical office in Osaka. The doctor delivers 3 words that scatter his existence. Malignant brain tumor. Most people would panic. Most people would break down. Most people would cling to the familiar, the safe, the known. Yukimatsu did something else entirely. The same day, the exact same day he received his death sentence, he walked into his construction office and quit. No 2 weeks notice, no gradual transition, no backup plan. He burned his safe life to the ground and bet everything on music.
He is your favorite DJ's favorite. Yousuke Yukimatsu! Give it up!
I think this moment reveals everything about who Yukimatsu really is. When faced with mortality, most of us would retreat into safety. He did the opposite. He ran toward the thing that scared him most. Because what's scarier than dying? Living a life that isn't yours. After surgery, my mentality and lifestyle changed greatly. He would later explain. When the sun is out, I take walks outside and I eat meals savoring each bite. I feel fortunate that I can do these things now. But the words don't capture the seismic shift. The man who emerged from brain surgery wasn't the same person who entered. The weekend warrior DJ was dead. Something fiercer had taken his place. Recovery wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. Every breath became precious, every beat became sacred. When you faced your mortality, playing it safe becomes the most dangerous thing you can do. Yukimatsu started Zone Unknown, his own party series in Osaka and Kobe. The name wasn't random, it was a manifesto. This was uncharted territory, music for people willing to go where others wouldn't follow. The lineup read like a who's who of musical misfits. Shaped Noise, Imaginary Forces, Kamixlo, Aisha Devi. Artists who didn't just make music, they made statements. Then came the moment that crystallized everything Yukimatsu had become. June 2016. Arca, the Venezuelan experimental producer known for working with Bjork and Kanye West, was lying on the floor during one of Yukimatsu's sets, taking photos. Most DJs would never dare interrupt a moment like this. Yukimatsu looked down at one of electronic music's most innovative artists and said, "I'm going to DJ, so please sing for me." I was amazed I could even say that, he later recalled. Arca didn't just agree, grabbed a microphone and began improvising vocals over Yukimatsu's mix. Two artists, different continents, different styles, creating something that had never existed before and would never exist again. This wasn't collaboration, it was communion. Somewhere between the brain surgery and the Arca session, Yukimatsu developed a philosophy that would define everything he touched. I play pop songs because I like them, and I don't really think about functionality or what's functional for the audience. But I have this feeling that if I like something, the audience will like it too. This sounds simple? It's revolutionary. Most DJs are prisoners of genre. House DJs play house. Techno DJs play techno. Hip-hop DJs play hip-hop. Yukimatsu decided these boundaries were fiction. He started dropping Korn's Freak on a Leash into techno sets. The Prodigy's Firestarter would blend seamlessly into Jamie XX. Chemical Brothers would morph into Gabber, then dissolve into ambient soundscapes. Tracks that shouldn't work together not only worked, they created something more powerful than either could achieve alone. Critics called it chaos. Fans called it genius. Yukimatsu called it honesty. There's something else that sets Yukimatsu apart. He performs topless. Not as a gimmick, not for attention, but for a reason so practical it becomes profound. I sweat a lot, so if I'm wearing a sweaty, sticky t-shirt, it becomes really difficult to DJ, so I take it off, he explains. I'm also conscious that taking it off gets people excited, but that's not related to the timing of when I take it off. This isn't exhibitionism, it's vulnerability. When you've survived brain cancer, pretense becomes impossible. The man behind the decks is as exposed as the music he plays. From 2017 to 2019, Yukimatsu performed at Berlin Atonal Festival 3 consecutive years. For those who don't know, Berlin Atonal is sacred ground for experimental electronic music. To be invited once is an honor. To be invited back 3 times means you've transcended local fame and entered the global conversation. His unpredictable sets earned him a reputation for sonic storytelling that defied easy categorization. He shared stages with 1-0 Point Never, Marcel Fengler, Adam X. These weren't just performances, they were sonic evangelism sessions. But the real breakthrough was still coming. 2022, Yukimatsu's Hör Berlin set accumulated over 4.7 million views. Electronic music fans began sharing clips with religious fervor. Comments flooded in from around the world. "This changed my life. I've never heard anything like this. Who is this man?" Then came 2024, and the Boiler Room Tokyo set that broke the internet. In a single 90-minute performance, Yukimatsu played everything from Korn to Chemical Brothers to Jamie XX. He seamlessly transitioned between genres that shouldn't exist in the same universe, let alone the same set. The crowd didn't just dance, they witnessed a spiritual experience. The video exploded. 11 million views and counting. Comments poured in from DJs, producers, and music fans worldwide. Probably the best DJ set I've heard in my life. This is what DJing is supposed to be. He just redefined what's possible. I believe what makes this set so compelling isn't just the technical skill, it's the authenticity. You're watching someone who genuinely doesn't care about your expectations, and that freedom is intoxicating. Pitchfork called his compilation Midnight is Comin', a 7.7 describing it as one of the most immersive DJ mixes in recent memory. Resident Advisor, electronic music's most respected publication, dubbed him the most fearless DJ on Earth, and made him their summer cover star in 2025. Editor Gabriel Shatan wrote, "No matter the location, space, or scale, a ticket to the Yusu experience comes with one guarantee: the person feeling the music most happens to be the one controlling it." He becomes known as your favorite DJ's favorite DJ. Artists like Tsuzeng cite him as a major influence. The man who was unknown outside Japan before age 37 has become one of electronic music's most sought-after performers. But philosophy without skill is just pretension. What makes Yukimatsu untouchable isn't just his fearlessness, it's his technical mastery of chaos. Take his power mixing technique from that viral Boiler Room set. While most DJs fade between tracks, Yukimatsu plays 2 songs at full volume simultaneously, creating live mashups that shouldn't work but somehow do. He ensures both tracks are harmonically in sync, their keys complementing each other perfectly. He times it so both songs hit their chorus sections together, maximum crowd impact. But here's the secret sauce: his EQ wizardry. Using his V10 mixer, he doesn't just blend, he sculpts sonic space. He cranks the low EQ to condition the crowd, then strategically pulls it back to create anticipation before slamming it back to full power. The drop doesn't just hit, it devastates. What I find remarkable about his approach is how he treats frequencies like a painter treats colors. He refuses to use sync functions on his equipment. "I don't want to use the sync function. I was afraid of pressing the sync button because I thought something strange might happen." Every transition is manual. Every mix breathes with imperfection that somehow achieves perfection. He uses extended intro loops to create seamless transitions that shouldn't exist. He pushes tracks to their maximum BPM limits, finding connections between songs that were never meant to meet. He employs techno effects not just as decoration, but as bridges between musical worlds, cutting them precisely as tracks reach their next section. Watch him work, and you see someone who treats the DJ booth like a canvas and 2 turntables like brushes. He's not just playing music, he's painting with sound in real time. This isn't just DJing, it's live music production happening before your eyes. Yukimatsu acknowledges making approximately 3 mistakes during typical sets. Instead of hiding them, he embraces them as opportunities for creative problem solving. Mistakes often lead to unexpected and successful musical combinations, he explains. This isn't just about DJing, it's about life. When you already survived the ultimate mistake, a brain tumor, smaller mistakes lose their power to terrify you. They become doorways to places you never planned to go. But here's what makes Yukimatsu's story transcend music. It's not about DJing, it's about survival. It's about what happens when you stop playing it safe and start playing for keeps. Music has brought me many good things. New friends, delicious local food, travel, and shifts within my own heart, he reflects. His sets often include breathing sounds, not as samples, but as reminders. The sound of humans breathing, he says, because it's the sound of humans being alive. He's reminding everyone in that room, you're alive, right now, in this moment. Feel it. Yousuke Yukimatsu's journey from construction worker to global icon isn't just an inspiring story. It's a masterclass in transformation. He proves that the most powerful art comes not from comfort, but from crisis. Not from safety, but from survival. He's performed at Berghain, where a fire alarm was triggered during his set, Deckmantle Festival, Movement Detroit. His story has inspired countless artists to stop playing it safe and start playing truth. But the real legacy isn't in the venues or the view counts. It's in the philosophy he embodies. Fearlessness isn't the absence of fear, it's the transformation of fear into fuel. Remember the two kinds of DJs we started with? The ones who play for you and the ones who play at you? Yukimatsu chose the second path. But he took it further than anyone thought possible. He doesn't just play at you, he demands you feel every ounce of his survival, his pain, his joy, his refusal to accept limitations. When the beat drops in a Yukimatsu set, it's not just music starting. It's life insisting on itself. It's the sound of someone who looked death in the face and said, "Not today. Today, we dance." And suddenly, playing it safe becomes the riskiest thing you can do. Because once you've heard someone play their survival, everything else sounds like noise. What I think is most powerful about Yukimatsu's story is this. He didn't just survive brain cancer. He transformed survival into art, pain into power, and chaos into the most beautiful music you'll ever hear. The man who was nobody became the DJ who proved that when you have nothing left to lose, you have everything to give. And this is how more than 11 million people, including me and you, couldn't stop watching and listening to his Boiler Room set.